Hi there, welcome to another Sims gameplay channel. Today I thought it would be fun to tour some of the community lots that I've built that either weren't included in speed builds or are not part of my renovation challenge. They were lots that I created in gameplay or before I started taping. So I wanted to tour a few, well, several of them today. The first one we're going to look at is this really interesting arrow-shaped lot here, which is a restaurant called This Way Cafe. I wanted to create a small restaurant to fit on the 20 by 15 lots. So let's check it out. Here we are at This Way Cafe. I'm going to keep it in build mode so I can adjust the lighting and so forth, but I love this lot. I use it in a lot of my saves. It's a great community lot restaurant, a different place. Obviously you can set it however you want insofar as its cuisine. It was a challenge, but I like to make challenges for myself. So when you walk in, you've got your registration table here. You have two restrooms, one to the right, one to the left. These are just some windows that look out to these really beautiful trees. And the kitchen is in the back here. Got the garbage cans out back, all partitioned off so you don't see it. There are these outside seats. I did put a heater in for those colder days, and it works out great. Upstairs, the stairs are right in the center, but it works out great. There's again another set of outside tables, and then some inside seating, which all works perfectly. There are no issues. Feel free to download. It is on the gallery. My username is LMPlays9. That is This Way Cafe. Now let's head over to a retail shop that I use all the time in one specific save. We'll head over there now. One of the first retail stores that I made this specifically for my sim Pepper. She's my Superwoman sim. You can check out her gameplay on her playlist. And she just has lots of things to sell. So I'll go down to the first floor. Both sides mirror this type of entryway. And then you've got an area that's kind of a grocery store. I did have to adjust a little bit of the shelving in here. They were getting stuck. They want to stand in a certain place. Here is where I put all of her collectibles, her archaeology stuff, and I just set all of it for sale. In the middle here, we've got a couple of cash registers and display areas because she also knits and she creates potions. So she's got lots to sell there. And then in the back here, or in the front, however you choose to look at it, I have her kind of art gallery where she sells all of her art. Originally, I had clothing in one of these, but it didn't make any sense. She was losing money because she would have to pay, like, I think it's 175 simoleons to dress the mannequin. So it just felt like she was losing more money than she needed to, and she had a ton of artwork. So it just made sense to make both of these art galleries for her. Like I said, though, in the one that's on the gallery, it's set up as a like clothing area. Upstairs, there are some creative spaces. You've got creative space for gardening up here in the top right, and then in the bottom left here, you've got some areas to paint, and then two bathrooms. I also have a spot here in the center for vendors. Beware, I think when I saved this onto the gallery, these are turned the wrong way. So it doesn't always work well. And I had additional seating here, but over my own gameplay, I added a fabricator for Pepper so that she could fabricate while she was at the store. So there are a few differences to the one that you're looking at here versus the one on the gallery. But either way, the space works really well. Feel free, enjoy. My username, again, is LMPlays9. All right, let's head off to another restaurant that I made called Crave. Crave is the first restaurant that I made, and I actually made it for my very first Sims 4 save. I am late to the Sims 4 game. I just got Sims 4 during COVID in like August of 2020, so that's why I'm a little late to the game. But regardless, this was the first one that I made, and I use this in a ton of my saves. It works really nicely. I think I have this lot set as like a hot spot. Oh, Chef's Kitchen. Oh yeah, hottest spot in town as its lot trait. So sometimes there is that cover fee to get in, but obviously you can turn that off if you choose. But it works great. There is one thing that you have to fix, and it's super minor. I just didn't pull these close enough. I didn't pull the tables close enough to the booth. Nice bar, and it's primarily seating on the outside, but I've got these heaters out here and it is covered, so typically you do okay in inclement weather. There are 2 sets of bathrooms and the kitchen, and it works out great. I've got the waiter tables over here. I use this in a lot of my different saves when I want them to have a community lot restaurant that's not Chez Llama. All right, moving on. Let's head to something a little bit different. For a bit of a change of pace, I don't remember what inspired this, but I had this idea to create kind of a gaming cafe where people could come, get some coffee or, snacks or whatever, but game. When you walk in, you've got some, an area for books. And now with the different packs and kits and things, there might be some cool clutter you could add. I have used this in saves previously. I think it works fine. There might be one little area which I'll get to in a second. Here's your cafe. Works great. I love the orange. And then here is the central gaming area. Oh, I think something happens over here when you try to play video games, and I don't remember what it is. So there might be some trial and error there. Otherwise, everything seems to work fine, but that is the gaming cafe, and it's on a large lot, so there's plenty of room to grow if you wanted to expand it and add an arcade. I'm proud of this build. I'm not great with roofs, but I can see where some improvements can be made, but ultimately I think I did a pretty good job with this build. On to the next. Next we have this sweet little starter vet that I made for a save, and I just think it's super cute, so I put it up on the gallery. I'll be saying this a lot in this session. My username is LMPlays9, and inside I kind of set it up where you've got your waiting room and your check-in area here, and then just a few items here to get you started. Small little restroom, plenty of room to grow as a vet. I think it's a great way to start out. It's only $20,000, so it's a really good price to get you going in your veterinary practice. So that's it. Let's move on to another small little community lot. This is a sweet little teeny tiny build that I made for my scenarios save, and my sim in that save is named Tomorrow. So I thought it would be helpful for her for some reason to have a retail shop, but a little one, so she didn't have to spend a ton of money. And so I made her Tomorrow Today, which I think is a really cute name. And so, yep, it's a veritable tiny home. I think I've made a couple of adjustments as gameplay went on, like adding these shelves and whatnot. And she was going over to Evergreen Harbor and finding appliances that she was able to repair, which I thought was pretty cool. So this is her little shop. It works perfect. I don't think this mini fridge is in there, but yeah, very sweet, works perfect, super cheap, $14,000, but that's as it is now. I think the other one is cheaper. Yeah, $8,000. Yeah, my sim only had 10 grand, So I made her the micro starter, like a micro retail starter. And again, I put it on a large lot, so you have plenty of room to grow. All right, a few more, but the next few I'm super, super excited about. I definitely saved the best for last. The last lots I'm going to show you, which there are several, but they're all going to be in Sulani. So if you love Sulani like I love Sulani, stick around. And I have a sim who lives in Sulani. I love Sulani. I made this retail shop called Vibes for Pepper. I spoke about her earlier when we went and toured Moods. And I took out the clothing portion because it was costing her so much money, but I do love making outfits. So I thought I would make this clothing shop specifically for Sulani, so bathing suits, hot weather outfits, and so forth. And there's this nice little porch off the back. So let's take a look inside. So in the front here, nothing here is usable that I've made. I could add some of the things that she created here, but she does that over at Moods. So for my gameplay with Pepper, I didn't really need anything in the front. My primary objective here was the outfits. So I made these dressing rooms. They work pretty well. I will say it gets kind of crowded, so I've considered removing these walls and just making it a large area, but they still can buy stuff. The only thing that happens that I've noticed is this kind of glitch here where it says that there's nothing there, but she's clearly wearing an outfit. Sometimes you just have to change the outfit in order to make the sign go away, but it still appears that they can buy the outfit. So I don't think it messes with gameplay, it's just a visual component. But I like the way it turned out. I've got 2 restrooms back here, a couple places to sit, and then on the back patio here, a few shelves. I love using these shelves. I use these shelves in residential homes too, when I make like little like linen closets and stuff. And I love plants, and I love making, you know, little groupings of plants and whatnot. No issues other than the ones I've already mentioned, but make sure your sim has some money for it, because selling clothing only, you do have to spend money to make money. I'm gonna move on to a different vibe. First and foremost, you are correct. We are no longer in Sulani. I forgot that this one is not in Sulani, but clearly it could be. I think you'll forgive me. This community lot is called Relaxation Station, and I made this one for my sim that was doing the wellness aspirations. So she had to lead yoga and meditation and all that, so I wanted to build her a space where she could do that. What I did was I made it like a retail shop. So it is nice if you can have 2 sims on the lot, one to do the yoga, the other one to cash people out, unless you want to hire staff. Staff doesn't always work, so I've always tried to have at least 2 of my sims on the premises so I could do both of those things. So that's the outside. I just love it. And then inside, when you first walk in, you've got the yoga studio, and then the way that I've made it retail is by putting these mannequins in, and also some of the things that they've collected. So very few, not nearly as much as Pepper. I usually have one of these boxes to have extra stuff in there, so I have things to add. And in this store, I've basically just done, you know, workout clothes. That's the yoga studio. There's restrooms here, and then doors into the next area, which is the meditation area. It works beautifully. I added some vendor shops out here. I don't know if they are there in the one on the gallery, but it's a good idea, especially if your sim has been here all day. But there you have it, Relaxation Station. Check it out on the gallery. LM Plays 9. We are in the final stretch, and we are absolutely heading back to Sulani right now. As I promised, back in Sulani, the final 3 lots that I want to tour today are here. The Sulani Library has inspired me, and this isn't going to happen just yet, but soon, because I'm kind of itching. In this build, I challenged myself to only use base game and island living. And I think what I'm going to do for that challenge is, for every neighborhood, I will only use base game and that particular pack. Especially for the newbies, the newcomers. I know that there's a lot of people out there that don't have all the packs yet. So to kind of help that out a little bit, I thought that this would be fun. Also, I noticed Sulani doesn't have a library. Sulani doesn't have a gym, those kinds of things. So I thought that it would be fun to do that. Now, this particular build, like I said, just uses base game and island living packs. So keep that in mind. There are 2 floors and then a back porch area and then even a little area for the kids. And I love throwing in the vendor shops. I think it just makes things a lot more convenient and allows you to stay on the lot a little bit longer. Downstairs we kind of have what would potentially be the librarian's area. We've got some chess tables, little unique little areas to sit around. I loved using these instead of umbrellas. I just thought that that gave it such more of an island feel. And this is a nice little spot out here too. And then I made some study nooks, which I think turned out really cute. Upstairs, we've got the stairs on either side of the study nooks here. And that leads up into another library area. Got some shelves all around. And then some creative spaces for children and Todd's, and some additional creative spaces out here, chess tables, bonsai trees, and so forth. So please download. It's on the gallery. My username is lmplays9. I would love for you to use it. I've even put it in other saves since I've made it, because it just makes Sulani feel more complete to have all of the things that you need right in Sulani, right? So that was the inspiration for that. Sometimes after reading, you might get a little hungry, but you don't want to leave the beach. And you also don't want to go to that Greasy Spoon dive bar down there, right? There's nothing wrong with Greasy Spoon dive bars, but sometimes you want something, a little different. You might want to hop on your jet ski and head over to Wave. I had a very specific idea for this restaurant, so I didn't limit it to just base game and island living. It does include a variety of packs, so keep that in mind. But I love the way it turned out, and I've not had any issues yet. I've only used it a few times, so there may be some bumps along the road, but I did kind of start using it, so we will see. This is the aerial of the whole thing, which I think looks really fun. There's an outdoor area over here with just some, seating areas. You could even throw a bar out here if you wanted to. You could have something else in the water. I just think it turned out so cool. So I'll pull down the roof here so we can head in to this front area here. This is just our little entryway. We've got the hostess table right here, and the kitchen is open for all the world to see, which I love. And you've got open traffic through there, and you've got one of the multiple waiter stations here. Over here you do have a bar. That's where I put the tiki bar, and I think that turned out nice. And I've got a little, I don't want to call it a hallway, but like a little area here, and then the bathrooms. From the hostess table, you walk into the restaurant, and I wanted to have a restaurant that had some glass flooring. So that's where that is. I did put some heaters in just because it does get cold in the evenings on Sulani. I also added a waiter table here. We'll head down this way in just a minute. Back here is also more seating for the dining room. And then I mimicked the style of the bathroom on this side to that one, and you've got another set of bathrooms here. So that is your dining area. After dinner, you might want to go dance a little bit and take a little stroll. So I made this walkway here with some areas to sit, some plants, and then booch, 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 booch. Here we go. We're going in to the dance area. I added some high top tables in here and the DJ booth, and that's right off from the bar. So the traffic should move great. And like I said, I have used it and I've not had any issues thus far, but I've only used it a few times. I love waves. I think I made this a seafood restaurant. I don't think I did. I gave it, Oceanic Paradise, that was given to it, and I did make it a chef's kitchen. Cool. So feel free to check that out as well. And we've got one final stop, which I'm super excited about. I love this build. I've used it multiple times, so let's head over there. It's last one, best one. Here we go. Last one, best one. Sulani's Paradise Gym, Spa, and Pool. I'll show you the outside first and then we'll head inside. But the gym is in the basement area because I wanted to have more of an open floor up here. We've got a nice large pool with 2 diving boards. I've set up some areas for sunbathing and even a little area for the Todds and the kids. We've got some seating areas over here as well. It's a big lot, so I wanted to fill it up. We've even got some shady spots. I particularly enjoy the shady spots. And then I put essentially two kitchens out here, and they work. They work great. Don't see why they wouldn't, but sometimes, sometimes things happen, especially when I use BB Move objects, right? Which my strategy with that is to turn BB Move objects off when I'm trying to place something that I want to be used to see if it will fit. All right, so that's the outside. I'm going to head back to the entrance. Hold on just a moment. All right, and this is the main entrance for the gym. You head down these stairs, and then I just have some water features and some seating areas, and then you've got 2 areas to the left and to the right. So when you come down the stairs and you go to the left, you go into a massage area or a place to get hand or foot massages, and also a little spot to do yoga. It does look into the pool, which I've made a sand bottom, and then I added more color to the outside to just kind of bring more color into this basement area. Back here we have a place to shower. They're little self-contained little bathrooms, and your sauna is in here, which I absolutely freaking love the way that this turned out. And then there's another bathroom on the other side, and then if you were to go right down the stairs, you'd end up in the gym area, which also works out great. I just put some things here as though it were like a little bougie spot if you needed an extra towel or something. I have put this in other saves. It is a really nice spot in Sulani. It fits right in. I did not limit this to only base game and island living. Sometimes I don't think about it. That's why I think I'm going to do a challenge with it, because I really have to think about it. And sometimes I forget and I turn the filters off. So I'm really going to have to pay attention. But in this one, I did use quite a few. And on the gallery, it looks like crap. Yeah, I used like every one. But those are the things I wanted to walk you through today. Sometimes I like to do things outside of taping, and I wanted to share with you everything that I had created so far in that community lot genre. I do have some other builds that I know that I can tour another time. I hope you've enjoyed the tours today. Take a look at my library on the gallery. Final time, my username is lmplays9. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time.